Okay, what I'm trying to say here, why I only mentioned CE class, because DA guys will be learning more on Revit in future. So this function maybe you will cover. But CE they're using only up to this. I think so. I don't know. Just my guessing. So if you need to add dimension, remember, first time when you use dimension from your Revit is always wall center. You need to select as wall face to start. Okay, then you pick continuously. All right, then pick again like that. Outside, you stop, modify. Okay, that is how you do your dimension. Okay, now sometimes you might say, hey, someone asks, oh, um, what you want to measure dimension from here, this one, not from level to level. It means you wish to modify. Add in these two lines to capture in this dimension. Then for this, from this level, what should be the next? That means my staircase landing. How you going to add? You don't delete unless you say, okay, this is my floor, I leave it. You add a sub dimension inside, which is you add a new one again. So you pick one. See here. Make sure they detect is detecting the whole line. So 1, 2, 3. All right. Then automatically you stop. Why? They auto set your baseline dimension. Pick again. Stop there. Escape one time to see your clearance. Now, from there, you notice that sometimes the text is too close to this. You may want to say, okay, I want to move this out. Very simple. Select the font, drag at the grid. See, drag text. The leader will auto appear. So don't worry. If you need the leader head, you select. Then under the leader head, check here. See, leader head is called the tick mark. Currently it's none. And why this guy is curved? Because he's using an arc shape. So all this you can see from here. If you guys learn your AutoCAD, and I believe your trainer or your lecturer does explain on so-called every parts of a dimension, then okay, the terms here will be something similar. The only difference is the this line. See, the text here and this dimension line is still the same. Only the extension line in AutoCAD we call them as extension line, but in Revit we call this as weakness line. That means if you add dimension, you need to modify and so on. You notice that there's no modification tools. You need to modify existing. You just need to select your existing dimension, and you notice that at your contextual ribbon, the edit witness line icon appear. From there, you select this. You can continue to select them. See now? See, this is how Revit works this way. Questions? Then this is since this is your staircase landing, then please label staircase landing. All right. Unless this view is insufficient, you want to cut a view with a staircase that's shown, then please label that. Because currently this view is mainly for my wall section. So I means I need to have a section for one part of the staircase. So it's up to you. You're going to show it to me to see how much you understand on that. Because staircase, you need to add rebar in next time doing construction. How you going to add? You must have that section. Then you sketch your rebar there. Okay, so this is how slowly detailing are formed. You must have a model first, not just from 2D, the actual 3D model. Okay, then can calculate things whether can be connected or not, or within range, or you know the cover, all this. Yeah. Okay, so dimension, and of course from here you can also spot elevation, create an arc length to measure. Yeah, but most importantly is still this angular is for that measurement, so angle. All these are quite straightforward, but don't use this linear, please. It might be difficult to use. And of course, I think in AutoCAD, yeah, common use dimension is linear, but in Revit here is the other one, align. Don't confuse the two of them. Okay, yeah, I think so far for this. And of course, for some other connections, generally, all these are structured. You want to cover all same hatching pattern is what we call region, field region. See how I do it? Or how they do it. Look at it. Here is because it's connected to the ground, means the earth. You can hatch a pattern, something like that to show. Why I want to cover the field region? Because in construction, oops, sorry. In construction, I mean, when I say construction means model that you build in 3D. We build them as a separate parts. But when you really in construction site, all these are pour cement. So when you cut the whole thing like join together, you don't see all these lines in between, you know. Yeah. So you may want to have something to symbolize that okay, they are all actually joints one during the casting. So you use field region. Then you sketch what you like to show from here. So let's say from this line, or maybe further out a bit, I select. Now here, this is beam from the back, so I don't care. So it should be, hey, hold on. I think for this particular component here, I think don't need to add because when you don't see hatch pattern for this case, that means it's not part of the hatches. Yeah. If you see you cut this hatch, this got hatch, then it does. Okay. Unless, let me clarify. I want to see the slab. Is it because no pattern shown? Okay, let me see. Could be that. No wonder. See, structure don't have any material. So if I set this, I think it does. Okay, it does. That means it's all a section. Okay, good. Lucky double check. No wonder here, half done. Look at it. So I think my this section got to, I mean, the break line got to extend further up. Okay, that one you guys can think how you're going to do it. But here the region, I will fill everything in. Okay, so let's say I only do the one without the finish because the finish is not under the main con. Okay, so I just do the one without the finish. See, I'm sketching my detail. Outside is okay. Come back here in like that. You think that they are supposed to join together based on the view when you cut, then please sketch properly. But make sure that your section line did cut through all this. So that means you got to understand. Don't do blindly. Just because I show you this way, you just do. No. make sure when you define that section that time, is this really cut at your model or not? Okay, so now done. When you create that, now you need to have a type selector for the field region. You can go to edit type. Here you have whatever that default, but here you might like to use your own. Yeah, so I'll go to duplicate, and of course duplicate patterns you might not know, so just simply duplicate first lah. So this is my view. Okay, sorry, structure wall section. So you may want to use back structure wall, yeah, section set lah. Okay, then you select the pattern you want. Now, when you are doing section, that means it's 2D. Don't set as a model because the scales are different. Model hatch pattern scale is 1:20. Your drafting scale hatch pattern is 1:1. So for this, I will select structure concrete. See? Okay, and okay, then finish it. You notice that it will cover every single piece. Okay, so during modeling, you know that we create a parquet blah, we create a slab, we create a beam separate. But once they are joined up, you cut a section. This is what you get. Questions for editing a region view under annotate tab, detail panel, and this. Okay, fill region, right, is to conceal multiple join and appear them as adhesives, no one solid cast. Okay, but of course when you're talking about rebar, it's rebar. You can still add rebar inside if you want. Okay, so you just set the coverage, so you can model add 2D detail or 2D information to satisfy the requirements. This is Revit. Of course, AutoCAD can do that also. Yeah. What else? Your staircase rebar you can add from here, or let's say for those guys doing Archi, you want to have a track count, you can add from here also. See or not? This one is to multi category tag. You can do a rebar tagging in case the need arise. Currently, I no need your guys to do that, but you can use the tools provided here in future. So although no need to do, but you still need to know where to look for this command. Okay. Other detail like just now I add this and repeating detail. I will say that Archi will need this in case structure I don't know need or not, might or might not, because I say structure. Okay. Other thing like what? Let me see. View structure itself. Currently, they don't need truss yet, so I'm not going to show you truss. I think more or less is there. Okay. Yep. Questions? So next week, I use it for revision in case you guys need anything. If not, then I will show you how you can drag and drop into the title block. This is the last part of the tutorial that I'm going to show you. Questions? If no, I will show it together, okay, with this recording. Maybe no, must ask. Okay, I think DA show a lot of question, right? Because what you learn Aki sometimes similar, sometimes different. But CE, if you're not sure, you can ask because you only learn one software, right? So far, sorry, two, Revit Aki and Revit Structure, because that is the foundation for you. Yeah. Okay. Assuming that your things are done, so I'm going to drag this thing out. How you going to drag and drop into your title block, which is your test requirement? All this naming, how you build lah, all these things. See your legends, your schedule, your legends, and so on. Structure legend wise, not common. I mean, not really need, but Aki you need. Okay. We call them as sheets, which is what I call your layout. So you need to go to your view tab. Okay, view tab under the sheet competitions. Layout sheet is the one here. So you select this icon. You see here, there's a A1 matrix. For beginners like you guys, not required to customize a new title block. But for those taking advanced next time or taking customization, you need to learn how to create a title block. Then you use it. Meantime, you just need to call out the title block. It look like this. Yeah. Okay. Then you need to capture the view and put it inside here. Let's say, for instance, I want my foundation, which I don't have because here not required. So I'm selecting my first story or my ground level. Guys, hold on. Give me a minute. Okay, so select your view once, left click hold, drag and drop here. You see it's coming in. I believe it's very big, the view. See? It's so huge. This is one way. Another method is from here, view. You select your view, then you can choose any view, then say add to sheet. Like just now, I select first story. I highlight first story. Structure plan, add to sheet. For you guys, some they prefer this way, you can go ahead. But for me, I prefer to see what I want, drag and drop. So you see nothing means your drawing is too big. All right, then place where you want. Randomly anywhere first. See, super huge. So what's next? You might say, Cher, how to do? So big. All right. Yes. How to scale? So watch carefully. Revit a lot of funny tricks here. To scale, you must ensure that you are able to go into the editing mode. Meaning what? It's like as if you open up your first story plan. You see all your view section here. You see now? Of course, you don't really follow me do this step. When you are ready to adjust your view, I mean to insert, to present in the model, I mean to data block layout sheet, once you drag and drop here, you notice that there's a frame covering your model or your plan. Select, click one time. You notice it says activate view. Means it's like you are going back to this view without physically open it. All right. Or if you don't want, right click, activate view. It's the same. Once you click activate view, you are in that view. Why? Your scales are there. So from this, once to 100, I can't squeeze in, definitely. Up to you. But teaching, I cannot tell you double click that fast, ma. Then not everyone will know. Che, what do you do? I think they'll ask me. Teaching method and use is different. Okay, so you know, double click. Yep. So from there, then you change your scale. Maybe one is to 200. You see, it start to size. It's still pretty big, right? See, it's still quite big. So let's say 250, but there's no 250, right? Can I add? Can. Custom. One is to 250, but a lot of people might not use 250 lah, because size might be only significantly small. Depends. You go into 1 to 300. So from here, you also can't move, right? Because you're still in the editing mode. You need to right click, deactivate view, because here they don't show any returning view. You must always right click. Deactivate, then select, put it inside. It's still quite big. Why? Because when you are presenting the model, no longer need this, the elevation tag. We need elevation tags is only when you are doing the model, but you are doing more on the construction already. This guy is no longer needed. Okay, how to remove it? Two way. Right click again. Sorry, select your view, activate view. Either you enable your crop region, you crop it. Show what you want to show. This is method one. After that, off it. Okay. Now let me undo. You enable this, you type VG. Now this is known as your elevations, correct now? Under annotation category. So go to annotation category, scroll down, look for elevation. Uncheck, applies, okay. Turn off, turn on. Doesn't change. Sometimes you will auto resize smaller. Yeah. If it doesn't, then of course don't waste time. You can just turn this off. It's okay. Because nothing show already, ma. See that? Right click, deactivate. How come it doesn't change? That made mistake. Yeah, I think I still need to crop because of the take for granted. Okay, activate this. Yeah, the box is still there. I thought no need. Thinking of shortcut, but it don't work that way. Okay, crop it. So if that's the case, then don't bother to annotate height. Just crop it. After that, off it. Right click again, deactivate. It should be smaller now. Yeah. Then you move it to the area or spaces you want. If let's say you are presenting this as in the view, then please maybe roughly in the center. So there will be a lot of layout sheet here because huge drawing, so many. Okay, unless you want to scale down further, wants to 500, wants to whatever, but you can't possibly squeeze every level and elevation in. So set appropriate scale. Okay, now lastly, this line too long, right? You can move it to where you want, but to shorten this view title line, you need to select the framework first from your plan. Then you see the grid, drag it. Now it's done. Okay. Then of course your label, what you need to change. See the scale, automatic update. So some like project numbers, the issue date, you change yourself. Author, this is your name. All right. Check, put my name. Issue, you finish today or when the last thing you add, just change. Type in lah. Yeah. You can select and issue date should be here. Like today. Okay. Yeah lah. Later you will show. Oh. But currently I think there's another one here lah. Okay. This one should be the date when you submit to Moodle. Then you change. That's called issue to your client. Okay, then the unnamed is where if this is your first story, name should be typed first story. Meaning what? If you drag any view or any things related here, that means multiple view. The title here must multiple name also. But since like ours here is quite huge, can only accommodate one name, then please one name. Project name is your what name? Propose a 6-story warehouse, blah blah blah, whatever you type in. That's your project name. Owner, don't bother lah. Okay. Then other things you no need to add. Alright, because this is Autodesk temporary template. Okay. Questions? This is how you can present it. I mean, do it simple one. I don't go too much detail for you. Uh, that box is which box? It means the crop view. That one you need to off it. We turn on is to fine tune to the view you want to capture. After that, must off. If not, you see the frame inside. People might mistaken, hey, how come this is it a platform or this a slab? It must be off after you crop the view you wish to show. Okay, all good. So next week, can you still ask me if you are doing not sure in certain thing? So please, for those that last week forget to submit, please don't drag until everything last minute. You don't have time because you still got a common test. Okay, if no questions, I will stop here.